Hello? Who's there? No answer. He tried to sound commanding. Whatever you're doing back there. A figure stepped out into the beam. She was blinded by the light, raising a hand to shield her eyes from the glare. Ben, it's me. He redirected the beam away and focused on her. Angie? He squinted as he eyed her. What are you doing here? She tentatively took a step towards him. The pitter-patter of raindrops struck the gravel at his feet, quickly growing in intensity. Angela was dressed only in a loose cami vest top, cutaway denim shorts and trainers. She pulled her arms close to her as the rain increased. Ben hurried to her, taking her by the hand and leading her to the nearest building. They took shelter in the doorway while he fumbled with his keys. It wasn't much, but it was better than being caught out in the open. The storm was breaking upon them, and eventually Ben found the right key, unlocked the door, and the two of them bundled inside out of the rain. It had only been a matter of seconds, but the two of them were virtually wet through. Ben looked upon her. Angela's shoulder-length blonde hair was soaking wet and stuck to the side of her face. She deftly moved it aside, away from her eyes, tucking it behind her ear. Her mascara had run, but she didn't seem too bothered, smiling up at him as he wiped the warm rain from his own face. Her top clung to her chest, revealing the contours of her body. They were close. He could smell a sweet, flowery fragrance on her. Was it the conditioner in her hair, or was it her perfume? The room was lit by the night lights. Every fourth strip light above them was on, enough to see by, but the darkness ventured deeply in between, casting odd shadows all around them. Angela smiled at him. "What are you doing here?" Ben asked again. "You'll get in trouble." "I'm here to see you, you idiot." "Me?" "Yes, you." She reached out and grasped his shirt at the waist, drawing him towards her. Confused, he mumbled something, but it faded out as their bodies touched. He swallowed hard, staring into her blue eyes. They gleamed in the scant light as she gazed upon him, and he felt self-conscious, scared of saying the wrong thing or making a mistake. "I wanted to say thank you," she said. There's no need." She reached up and placed the point of her forefinger against his lips, silencing him. His mouth ran dry and his nerves were set ablaze. On her tiptoes, she leaned in and kissed him, allowing the touch to linger for a few seconds. Unsure of how to respond, he didn't. He felt light-headed and dizzy, but in a good way. He would never be able to explain it any better than that, no matter how hard he would try. She drew away from him, smiled again, and he found himself returning it. She tasted of strawberries. "Thank you," she said quietly. That's okay," he said, instantly regretting the tone. In his head he sounded feeble, pathetic. She touched his cheek, slowly tracing her fingers down the side of his face and placing her palm flat against his chest. "I can feel your heart beating," she whispered. He nodded, dumbstruck. What should he do now? "Thank you, Ben," she repeated, releasing him and stepping back. The realization that this was his moment, and it may have passed, struck him. She moved to the side and reached for the door handle behind him. They were still touching. He should make a move. But how? Do something. Anything. Suddenly he felt inadequate. The hinges on the door shrieked as she opened it, and the sound of the rain striking the ground beyond carried inside. Angela passed out into the storm. Ben hesitated and then followed, calling after her. "Angie! Wait!" It was a decision that would play over and over again in his mind. It was a genuine sliding doors moment that Ben Craik would forever regret.